During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk a little about how much fertilizer does it take to raise a crop. Now, when we use the word fertilizer, that may mean something different to you than it does to us. So when I'm saying fertilizer, that includes all forms of plant nutrients. In other words, commercial fertilizer, manure, compost, any possible way that I can get nutrients to the plant. In addition to that, I think about soil organic matter and just nutrients that are hanging around in the soil. Maybe they've been there for years. That's what we mean by fertilizer.
I'm glad you framed the discussion that way, because I hear some farmers say, well, I raised a crop on only this many nutrients compared to this guy used this many nutrients, so much more than I did. I must be doing a better job. I just find most times when I see these things, they didn't take into account all the ways they're getting the nutrients that their crop needs.
Right. For example, let's go to the last thing I brought up, that's soil organic matter. Did you know that for each 1% of soil organic matter, at least in my area, our area around here, we can release about 20 to 30 pounds of nitrogen, 4 to 7 pounds of phosphate, and 2 to 3 pounds of sulfur for each 1% of soil organic matter. So we have some fields that are 5% organic matter soils. That means we can get 100 to 150 pounds of nitrogen for free out of the ground every single year. It's awesome.
It is a big deal, and the way that you care for your fields or your garden or your lawn really determine how much additional nutrition you're going to have to put out there in order to raise a successful crop.
So if you want to know how much fertility does it actually take, how many nutrients does it actually take for any crop, you can just download the free Ag PhD fertilizer removal app, punch in your crop, put in your yield goal, and it will tell you. So we're not going to run through a whole bunch of numbers today or anything, because you can do that yourself. I use that app all the time myself when we're looking at our different yield goals for our farm and our various crops.
Now, there are lots of nutrients in your soil. Don't get us wrong. It's not like you're removing the last couple of pounds of nutrients that exist and there's nothing out there. The problem is many of those nutrients in your soil are tied up, or they're in forms that are not readily available for plants. Microbial activity in the soil is going to help a lot to release many of those nutrients, but it takes a lot of things to get the microbial activity really going in your soil. So it's important, we always encourage you, pull soil tests out in your fields and in your garden and in your lawn. See what's there for available nutrition for this year's crop, and then do the right things to try to keep your soil healthy going forward.
Yep, because ultimately we want you to invest in your soil, but we want you to invest in the right things, because if you already have an overabundance of any certain nutrient, there's no point in putting more out there. If you do, you might actually cause more harm than good.
It's not expensive. We would recommend pulling a complete Malic 3 analysis. It's only going to cost, depending on where you send it to, around $10 to $15 per sample. It's really inexpensive to learn what you need, so please do it on a yearly basis.
Well, one of the things that is going to take nutrients out of your soil, but we don't like it, is our Weed of the Week, but we'll show you how to control it on your farm or in your garden coming up later in the show.